Canadians have just witnessed yet another ridiculous day in our parliament, courtesy of our failing Liberal Prime Minister Justin Trudeau. For literally months now, the NDP and the Liberals have been whining and crying at federal Conservative Party leader Pierre Poilievre because all he does is criticize us. Why doesn't he come to the table with constructive solutions? Why isn't he helping us? When it's his job to be the opposition leader, yet they would say that he needs to be more helpful and he needs to pitch in to help us solve the problems of the country. Pierre Poilievre just did, and they're still complaining at him. He put forward a very sensible housing bill. I'm going to get to it a little bit later in detail. Bill C-356, meant to try and lower tax on landlords who will lower rent costs, make it easier to build in the cities, and make sure that money from the federal government is going towards productive projects, not just simply being strewn around. In response to this is a policy that a Liberal or NDP politician could vote for and not feel like they're going against their base. It was very mild on purpose because Pierre Poilievre, in my belief, was exposing Jagmeet Singh and Justin Trudeau as complete frauds and weaklings, even when he pitched in to help, even when he was giving sensible policies that they could vote for and, being constructive and not criticizing. They criticized him back for doing what they asked him to do. Here's Justin Trudeau's weak response to Pierre Poilievre's legislation.
Meanwhile, after having his housing bill panned by experts as being, quote, exceptionally weak response to the housing crisis riddled with loopholes, the Conservative leader chose to repeatedly delay debate in this House since October on his bill. That's because he just doesn't care. When he was minister, he lost 800,000 affordable apartments and only built 6 affordable homes.
Justin Trudeau shouldn't be using the word weak in regards to anyone but himself. I know he's quoting experts, but he's trying to put the moniker of weakness on Pierre Poilievre, which is utterly pathetic for a man as cowardly and, might I say, weaselly as Justin Trudeau. Pierre Poilievre's legislation was perfectly sensible. There was not loopholes in it. There was nothing like that, like the Liberals have tried to claim later, that was going to tax people more or whatever, as if the Liberals care about taxing people. This is the post they made right before they posted that video of Justin Trudeau. This post reads, "Breaking. Pierre Poilievre wants to tax builders and cut investment for affordable housing. We stopped him. Add your name and support to a real plan to solve the housing crisis." That's not what Poilievre's policy did whatsoever. That's a complete inversion. Well, he was trying to tax people for building affordable homes, and he wasn't going to pursue more affordable building. It's because he wants to avoid boondoggles that will not actually result in more units being built. He wants to make sure that the cities are driving their own growth rather than the federal government coming on from over top and trying to force the growth their way. This is where we're getting blanket rezoning bylaws or plans being passed all over the country, like here in the city of Calgary, that are not going to build any more houses. It's just going to build smaller houses that cost more per square foot. Pierre Poilievre's solution was perfectly fine. There's really great stuff in here. And this is stuff that I don't think if you're the Liberals or the NDP, you can really disagree with. He had this part I thought was a great idea. Provide a 100% GST rebate on a new residential rental property for which the average rent payable is below market rate. And so giving rebates to landlords who provide rented units for below market value. That gap in the market value that they're providing gets given back to them in a tax rebate. Perfectly fine. There's other parts of it trying to make sure that cities, if they're going to build affordable homes or densified housing, it's around transit stations, not in residential communities that we're not supposed to have hyper-dense housing. It's trying to make sure that cities actually approve new housing builds faster, that they increase their housing builds by 15% each year if they want more federal support. That's perfectly fine. That actually lines up with some of the priorities that the Liberals and the NDP had. Pierre Poilievre's plan is specifically molded so that the NDP and the Liberals couldn't possibly say no unless they're partisan hacks. Spoiler alert, they are partisan hacks, and so they voted against this. Only 117 Conservatives voted in favor of this, and then all of the nays are Liberals, NDP, Bloc, the Greens, everyone just naysaying what the Conservatives want to do. At the same time, they're saying, why aren't the Conservatives helping us build the country up? It's because you guys are destroying the country. The Conservatives put forward something that would actually be productive, and you guys aren't into productive things, so you killed it on the spot. this is the problem with Canadian politics, is that you'll have the media pushing forward the narrative that Poilievre's too negative. Why is he so negative? Why isn't he constructive? At the same time, the NDP and the Liberals are attacking him for being constructive, and yet the Liberal media narrative will continue to be that Poilievre is too critical, too scrutinizing. Why doesn't he roll up his sleeves and help Justin Trudeau? Well, it's because Justin Trudeau isn't into helping the country himself. He might be the prime minister. It doesn't mean he really cares about leading the country or trying to be constructive. He just simply wants his agenda passed, regardless of his agenda actually makes housing more affordable or not. Not only does the Housing Acceleration Fund that the Liberals have been pushing not actually make it so that we're building more houses, year over year, for the past 3 or 4 years, we've been building less units per year because federal money does not equal more housing. There's a reason why whenever you pass some sort of a stimulus plan on a federal level, in point of fact, a lot of the time it actually reduces productivity in the areas that the money goes to. Because to get the federal money, you must follow federal regulations, environmental inspections, codes, labor requirements that end up just eating up all of the money that industry or that jurisdiction gets. It's usually a complete fraud. It's just government dollars, federal dollars going towards a problem with no intention of solving it. They just want people to think that they're solving it because they threw money at it. And on top of all of this, we have the Liberals and the NDP pushing into the country almost 500,000 new permanent residents per year, plus temporary foreign workers, plus foreign students, and we don't have the housing space for them. We don't have the jobs for them. We don't even have the spaces in universities for them, where a lot of foreign students are now being defrauded in these fake universities set up by immigration lawyers just so that they can be able to charge people their services to get them into the country under the guise that they're going to get a business degree when it's just some fake organization set up in a mini mall. The Liberals and the NDP don't care about real solutions. That's why they won't reduce immigration. That's why they won't reduce taxes. That's why they won't reduce crippling regulations on building. They don't care. They just like the perception that they care. Pierre Poilievre actually seemed to care enough to put forward a policy that would actually make things better. The Liberals didn't like that. Better is not actually better in their minds. More government is better. They don't like a solution that cuts the government out. And a lot of what Poilievre was doing was making sure that the government is less involved in housing to make it easier to build. Get the government out of the way, give people back their tax dollars so that we can make things more affordable. Nay, nay, nay. That would actually be productive. And so because Poilievre didn't propose $5 billion in more spending, Justin Trudeau doesn't like the plan, and so he shut it down. On second reading, they didn't even have a fulsome debate. At the same time, Justin Trudeau is going to pretend like Poilievre was ducking debate. That's because you guys were trying to fast track it and kill it as fast as possible rather than engaging in real discussion. When your opposition immediately wants to debate it, no sight unseen, they don't even care about the details of the bill. They just want to start talking about it. It's because they don't actually want to talk about it. They just want to get to the debating as fast as possible so they can get to killing it. And that's what happened just today. The Liberals and the NDP finally forced it to a vote to get rid of it without even being able to properly articulate what the bill was about. Justin Trudeau's pretending that this was a bill about, making housing costs higher, about not building affordable homes. That's the opposite of the bill. But in Justin Trudeau's world, he's always right, so it doesn't matter what he says, it's correct. That should be it for me today, guys. Hopefully this video didn't come off too manic to you. But I just want to quickly plug the fact that I, Wyatt Claypool, am running for the Calgary Signal Hill Federal Conservative Party nomination. If you live in this riding, please mark me number 1 on your ballot. Mark Michael Kim number 2. We need real conservatives representing these strong conservative ridings. And if you don't live in this riding, consider always donating to my legal fund at the Give Send Go link in the description below. I also have a link to my campaign website there if you want to check it out if you live in the area. But thanks for everyone watching. I don't know why the end of my videos are always so muddled. I'm sorry about this, guys. But thanks for watching. Make sure to like, share, and subscribe. And I'll see you guys next time.